2 years after the release of the BMW CE04 electric scooter, the company is targeting a younger generation of city dwellers with the new 2024 BMW CE02. Described by BMW as an e-parkourer, the CE02 is somewhere in between an electric bike and an electric scooter, designed to be practical yet playful in terms of both performance and appearance. So, let's look at 10 things you need to know before buying the 2024 BMW CE02. Starting at just $7,599, which compared to full-size electric bikes is mere pennies. Maybe the technical specs aren't exactly out of this world comparatively speaking, but they don't have to be. This scooter has a very specific purpose, and it's not to wow riders with range and charge times. It's to get you to work, a friend's house, a party, or some other nearby destination, and make you look cooler than anyone else already there. And it arguably does it better than Sondor's, a cautionary tale if there ever was one. Only Kawasaki has something similarly priced with their new Ninja E1 and ZE1 models, and based on the specs alone, those models are somewhat underwhelming for what they aim to be. When it comes to looks, BMW nailed it with the urban style of the CE02. A wild mix between Neo Cafe brat-style bikes, supermotos, and something out of cyberpunk, this bike aims to punch through the conservative blanket that weighs down most motorcycle designers. A few models out there can say they're truly modern in their looks. Yamaha's MT lineup of bikes is certainly leaning in that direction. And for every Bonneville on their dealership floors, Triumph has the handsome Street and Speed triples. Ducati often takes an ostentatious stance with their design. But this motorcycle doesn't seem to have a contemporary with similar design features. BMW made this bike with one purpose. Other than selling tons of units, it rolled this off their factory floors to become the king of urban commuting. Its range, battery power, and other performance figures tell the tale of a young professional moving through city traffic on their way to work or a night out with friends. It's small and light, weighing only 291 pounds. The seat height is an approachable 29.5 inches, and its slim profile all but dares you to cut through traffic like a knife. As long as you can get everything done within 56 miles, you may never actually need another vehicle. We all know living in a big city costs a lot more than it does in the suburbs or out in the country. That's the price you pay to be near all the best stuff if that's what you're into. One of the bigger offenses we've all come to accept is the skyrocketing gas price. And come summer, like clockwork, it achieves newer nosebleed heights than ever. That's where the promise of electric vehicles, flawed as it can be at times, is on the most solid ground. Cars seem to handle it better, as they're bigger and can hold larger batteries. But motorcycles, bound by laws of physics as they are, can only cram so much juice into their tiny batteries. Still, the prospect of a shorter daily ride versus paying $5 a gallon weekly can be enticing, especially if you live only a few miles away from everything you'll ever need. If you're within a 40-mile range from all of your daily stops combined, then the CE02 is going to win every time. And if you're staying somewhere for longer than 30 minutes, why not just plug it in if you can and let it recharge for your next ride? The company that created the CE02 is also debuting the newest version of its flagship GS in 2024. That machine is poised to be a top-of-the-line ADV killer, leaving the competition in the dust. Though on a much smaller budget, BMW brought the same approach to their urban electric scooter. But it doesn't mean that its owners will be disappointed. One only has to look at what BMW did with their baby GS, the G310 GS. It's hard to tell that it is BMW's entry-level motorcycle when riding that bike. The components may be from lesser-known companies, but considering its low price, the G310 GS feels like BMW gave it its full attention during the design process. The same could be said for this bike. It's hard to predict what the final product will be like, but it's hard to imagine that it'll be anything less than what BMW owners are used to having in their bikes. You can tell that BMW wants the CE02 to be the top choice for younger, newer riders not necessarily interested in motorcycles. That's why they designed it to be low, slim, and lightweight. Shorter riders can be comfortable with its lower seat height of 29.5 inches. Smaller riders can handle the comparative featherweight of only 291 pounds. It's also perfect for riders aging out of heavyweights, but still want to have the same freedom that comes with hopping on a bike and having a go. BMW's not messing around when it comes to delivering on features. It knows what city riders want and gives it to them. Amongst other bits of tech, a few stand out the most. Two standard riding modes are the keyless ride and the reverse gear. The two standard riding modes, Flow and Surf, allow the owner to switch their bike into a riding profile that makes sense depending on their goal. If they're making their way to work, weaving in and out of traffic, then Flow will allow for smoother acceleration with some regenerative capabilities. Surf is a more laid-back option, with a more responsive throttle and less regeneration, allowing for what amounts to coasting in neutral. Add to that a keyless ride for riders on the go, and a reverse gear for making U-turns and parking a breeze, and you have a tech-heavy package that doesn't overwhelm the riding experience with its sophistication. For those riders seeking a more elevated experience out of their commute, BMW offers some choice upgrades for the CE02. As with the standard equipment, there are a few optional equipment pieces and accessories worth mentioning. Chief among them is what BMW calls the Highline package, consisting of heated grips, an external quick charger, and a different color scheme. This package is for the power user who needs to stand out just a bit more, or for completists who want the best available bike. Other accessories include luggage, different footrests, and a small front fairing. This is not a race bike. It's not made for the track or going beast mode on the highway. Having said that, 15 horsepower with 40.6 foot-pound-foot of torque will get you to 59 miles per hour. That acceleration will be fast, considering CE02's featherweight class. And let's be real, how often do you go above 40 miles per hour in a city when you're not on the expressway? These specs have been specifically engineered for zipping through city block after city block. This scooter is perhaps not made for the traditional biker. Those riders looking to make their way through the gears as they accelerate and dip into a corner may be put off by something like the CE02. And although BMW certainly doesn't want that to be the case, they're not going to let it stop them from finding new markets for their motorcycles. A largely untapped market is currently dominated by bicycles with shoehorned batteries in them, and BMW wants in. That's why this bike is tailor-made for riders uninterested in traditional bikes. BMW wants to attract a highly mobile commuter, untethered to gasoline, with nearby work, attractions, and other destinations. Only time will tell if they'll succeed, but the CE02's thoughtful design, engineering, and price will certainly give BMW a leg up on the competition.